Less is more. Yeah. How to delete objects in a defined area. So sometimes, let's see our here presentation, you want to remove something, and as David is not here, I decided to just remove this for a piece logo in the upper right corner because I don't want it in that PDF anymore. So how does this work? Closing the penguins, going to the next file, just give me a second for that. Here we go. So here I have that presentation as a PDF, and I want to remove that in the upper right corner. Let's first analyze that file a little bit. So I use a check and see there are several objects, and one of those, okay, this is the big image, and here at the right top there is that image with the 4-piece logo which I want to remove. So it's not on the second page and so on, and sometimes within the document there is that image again. So how can I make this? First, okay, I already checked for that. So go back to the first page, and let's see, I want to find that image in the upper right corner. I created a check here, which is also rather simple. We have this nice little property is in custom area. So you can combine almost all checks which are checking for some kind of object details or object things with this property, and it will then only fire for objects which are in these custom area. I've done some quick measurement on that file, and I determined that the X offset is 17 centimeters, the Y offset is 60.5 centimeters, and the width and the height I also measured out. And then I simply added an isImage property to this check as well. And now when I run this check, I find 4 images on page 1, on page 9, on page 14, and that's, by the way, me and Akash, and on the last slide in this case. And what we can do now, we can use this tiny little check inside a fixup. Let's say I prepared here one as well, and let's have a look inside. We have this very powerful fixup called remove objects. So it says apply only to objects identified by a check, and I use there the image in the upper right corner. We already had a look on this check. It simply finds this image here. Okay, and what happens? Hopefully it happens. When I run this now, yeah, please replace, it removes that image from the upper right corner. So, quite easy.
I have a question. So, you did it for an image. Can it be done for other objects as well?
Yeah, you can do it, of course, for other objects. I prepared another file for this. For example, this is some kind of legal text from the state of Brandenburg or so. And I want to, let's say, I want to remove that headline. You see it, it starts here. This document has lost its start pages, and it starts with a 4, and there is also some text at the top. I don't want to have there anymore because I want to use it slightly different. And I have here created a check now again. Let's have a look inside that check as well now. We have again is in custom area, so it's somewhere I have no X offset in this case. I have a Y offset quite a lot from the bottom, from the lower left corner, and the width is the complete page width, and the height is the remaining difference, so from 27.9 centimeters, so the page is 29.7, it's 29.7 and it starts at 27.9, so somewhere here. Everything which is above that that region here will be removed. If you want to limit it, you can of course add, so let's say, is text to it. So you could add it and say yes, only when it's text. So if there would be an image or whatever, it would not be removed then. So you can add it there. Okay, I changed that check, and now I say here in this fixup, I use the same fixup type, remove objects, and apply only objects identified by a check, the remove headline. Okay, and I say fix. There, save it, and you see the headline is removed. Something which will not work. We are working in pdfToolbox always object-based. So what will not work with this is, let's say, remove one single word out of a flowing text. This is something which this fixup will not do, because the whole text is one object, and we are removing not parts of it. But in most cases, this is totally sufficient for removing objects. What you can do now here as well, of course, is adding new text. For example, like we've done this for this specific customers, you just wanted a new headline here at the top, and so you can just run a new check here with a new text headline and execute it, saving, replacing, and you see it after some seconds here. It has now placed here at the top a new headline. You could, how is this done? It's simply using the place text fixup, which places some text also, in this case, from the top of the crop box with a variable for the text. Of course, you could also add now a page number in the upper right corner, so you are totally free to add stuff afterwards, after you have removed that headline, for example, to slightly adjust these content of that page. So let's go back to the presentation. I think I find it, remove it. So you can of course use more checks in this remove objects fixup. That's obvious. You can of course do it, not vice versa, but more reverse. So we have also a fixup remove all objects except. So you can create a check, let's say image in the upper right corner, which we have seen, and then use this, and then everything else on the page will removed, and only the image, or like we have seen it with the headline, will remain on that page. So you can invert that. And of course you can also limit it to a page range with the property sequential page number, where you can simply add this property to the check and say, please only do that on page 1, for example. So, if you're not convinced, don't order, otherwise please order, but I think most attendees will already have pdfToolbox on their disk. This was it for today. If you have any questions, now would be the right moment to ask.
There are a couple of questions. So the first one is, does the object to be removed has to be completely inside the defined area?
Yes, it has to be complete div. Otherwise, let's go here, for example, with this one, when it would have, let's say, a transparent background or something like that, or it would be here somewhere at that, I hope you can see my mouse, it would be a little bit here over that image or so, that background image would also then be removed. And this is something I'm pretty sure you don't want. So it has to be completely in that area, otherwise we will ignore that.
Okay, I hope that answers the question. The other one is, can you remove object if it is on a layer?
Sure. So you can also limit it to only objects which are on a layer. So you can also go here, go to that check again here, for example, remove headline. You can here of course use, let's see, add that property which is called layer name, for example, and make sure that it's only removed when it is when this text object, it's a text object in that area, and it's only when it's on the layer with the name text. You can of course do that.